After a powerful storm rocked Box Butte County Friday evening, the cleanup and repair efforts begin. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, residents in Alliance and Hemingford will be spending some significant time getting their homes, yards, and vehicles back in shape following the series of storms that hit Friday night. Alliance City Manager Seth Sorensen says that he was impressed with how the community has pulled together following these storms.
I was very excited and proud when I went out Saturday morning to see how many people were out in their yard cleaning up their mess and taking care of their own yard, taking pride. And so we are trying to help them with that. We've opened up the landfill to accept brush and tree limbs and everything else from the yard for the next 2 weeks at no cost.
He says roof replacements will be fairly common following the damage, and contractors arriving in the area are reminded to get a license before starting work. He says glass replacement on buildings and vehicles will also be a big ticket item, impacting city government, as well, with 20 vehicles suffering damage, along with a number of windows in city structures. Well, property valuation protests in Scottsbluff County this week will be a bit lighter than originally anticipated when it was disclosed that more than half of the parcels across the county were receiving increases. Starting tomorrow, commissioners will take testimony on 96 protests, with another 85 in which no hearing is needed, and 3 where property owners do not want to appear. County Assessor Angie Dillman tells us that's quite a bit lower than in previous years.
Comparing that, we had 601 protests last year. In 2019, we had 249, and in 2018, we had 326. So I would say it was a pretty good year.
One positive development for acreage owners disclosed last week to commissioners, with 27 of them, mostly around Scottsbluff and Gering, seeing some reduction due to an error caught by one of the property owners. Dillman said a 10% across-the-board increase for that category of property remains, but an additional 4 or 5% added in error S residential property category increase in each community was caught and corrected with new valuation cards in the mail. Well, coming up after the break, Bill Boyer says sunny skies and clouds with a chance of some thunderstorms across the region. They'll have your Tuesday evening forecast right after the break here on KNEB.TV News.
At Platte Valley Bank, you don't have to be like a tortoise and carry your home on your back. They have mortgage experts that can help you finance the home that's perfect for you. Whether you're a first-time home buyer looking for your next home or simply want to refinance the home you're in, the experienced lenders at Platte Valley Bank are there to help. Contact them at pvbank.com or call and visit with one of the mortgage experts to take advantage of great rates at Platte Valley Bank.
This is KNEB.TV weather from the KNEB Storm Center, your trusted source for weather.
We're going to see a few scattered strong to severe thunderstorms across the area through the next several hours. They could continue into the overnight hours as well as temperatures fall down into the 60s overnight. Should end by sunrise tomorrow. So look for some of those storms. Again, severe weather possible tonight Cooler weather comes tomorrow before the 90s return Friday through the weekend. We hit 93 yesterday after a morning low of 57. Both of those fairly close to normal. Still nothing in the rain gauge. Very dry out here, just 900 so far for the month. You can see the 80s and 90s across most of the region. Cooler air just off to our west, starting to make its way into Cheyenne, Wheatland, and Lusk, where they've started to see some of that rain-cooled air from earlier. And you can see a few areas where we have some gusty winds associated with those thunderstorms as well. Winds out of the southeast, though, still pretty strong at 15 to 25 miles an hour across the area. Well, the bullseye of severe weather today, right in our neck of the woods. You can see we have an enhanced risk of severe thunderstorms in portions of the area. As we zoom in here, you can see a large portion of our area. We'll zoom in even further and show you we're looking at area in the central and northern panhandle along and north of the North Platte River Valley. That is where that slight risk of severe storms is, and an even higher risk, that enhanced risk, from Lusk over to Chadron and Gordon. What are we looking at? Well, probably the form of damaging winds and some large hail going to be the main threats. Those damaging winds up to 70 to 80 mile an hour are possible. Can't rule out an isolated tornado, but certainly the damaging winds and large hail up to golf ball size will be the primary threat. Already an enhanced risk of severe weather tomorrow in portions of Iowa, central and eastern Nebraska under the gun for some severe weather as well. And then that moves south and east of us by Thursday. So here we go with Futurecast. We're going to work our way through the evening hours. You see some thunderstorms out there. They'll move across the area this evening. Then overnight they form into a line. How far southward that line makes it is ultimately going to determine how much in the way of severe weather we have here across the region. Certainly the central and northern panhandle have higher risks of that into the Sandhills than in the southern panhandle. Lows tonight, 50s and 60s, a pretty comfortable night. Now tomorrow we'll start the day mainly sunny. We brew up some warm temperatures, cooler than today, but enough to put a couple of thunderstorms, especially in the southern panhandle tomorrow. Looks to be more focused off to the south, where this activity tonight looks to be focused more towards the north. But it is going to be cooler. 70s and 80s is all for highs tomorrow. Look at Valentine at just 74 degrees. As far as precip goes, again, heavier precip definitely off to the north. You can see that area well to the north of us in the Dakotas picking up a decent amount of moisture. Some of that's going to slip in to northern portions of the panhandle and the Sandhills. Otherwise, we're just going to have light rain showers. Scattered strong thunderstorms tonight. Lows down around 60 degrees. Winds will turn to the north, and they'll be cooler for tomorrow, but a stray late-day thunderstorm can't be ruled out. 85 your high. That 20% chance of storms just really won't go away over most of the next 7 days. Highs rebound into the near 90-degree mark Thursday and mid and upper 90s all the way through the weekend. Low 90s for next week as well, with, again, a slight chance of a daily thunderstorm.
Hydrozen. Unplug and recharge. What is Hydrozen? It's total body relaxation. It's total body recharge. It's floating weightless on water. Floating your aches, pains, stresses, and worries away. Hydrozen is a revolutionary new therapy using Epsom salt saturated water as a way to relax and rejuvenate your body. And it's now available in Scotts Bluff. It is for most ages and has many benefits to the mind and body. Visit hydrozenfloat.com or call us at 308-63-FLOAT.
The summer heat is back, but you can keep your cool with new windows and doors for renewal by Anderson of Wyoming. That's right, Christmas in July is back. And for a limited time, Renewal by Anderson is offering 20% off and no payment, no money down, and no interest for 18 months. That means no payment until 2023 and 20% off every window and door. Call 307-215-7493 and schedule your free in-home estimate from Renewal by Anderson of Wyoming today.
At 21st Century Equipment, we're proud to introduce the new Build Your Own tool. Build the John Deere you've been wanting and see how affordable it really is. Visit 21stcenturyequipment.net to build your own compact utility tractor, mower, or gator. It's easy to add implements, attachments, and view financing options. Build the exact tractor for your needs at a price you can afford, all from the comfort and safety of home, with the new Build Your Own tool at 21stcenturyequipment.net.
Welcome back. A Scottsbluff man charged with murder is scheduled to make his first court appearance in more than 6 months. 55-year-old Gregory Moore is charged with the November stabbing death of 23-year-old Fernando Camacho McBride. In December, it was found that Moore was not competent to stand trial at that time and was committed to the DHHS Lincoln Regional Center to receive treatment and restore competency. A status hearing has been set for Wednesday morning to see if criminal proceedings can continue against Moore. District Judge Andrea Miller is also set to hear a motion to dismiss the case filed by defense attorney Kelly Breen, who cites that his client has not been able to stand trial within the statutory maximum of 6 months. Well, with wildfires raging across much of the western part of the U.S., a smoke haze is continuing its spread to the east. In our area, the air quality currently remains in the, quote, good category, but Scottsbluff County Health Department Director Paulette Schnell says that could move into the moderate category very soon. She says those with breathing issues might want to consider how much time they spend outside.
Some of the things you need to think about is, do you really need to be outside doing what you're doing? And how much time do you and should you be spending outside? So if you have those sensitive issues to pollution and have lung problems, just being aware that there is this out there going on, and that you need to kind of monitor if it's getting worse as far as the air, but also really thinking about maybe you don't need to be outside or limiting the amount of time you're being outside.
The Denver area and much of Wyoming are already in the moderate category, and the smoke haze is continuing to spread east. And a familiar face has joined the Kimball City Council this month. Christy Warner, the administrator for the Kimball County Transit System, took the oath of office on July 1st in order for the council to conduct business at hand and to fill a vacancy that was already past the statutory deadline. Warner's appointment by Mayor Keith Prunty had been approved by the council during a special meeting in mid-June. Warner assumed her new duties immediately after the swearing-in ceremony. Well, straight ahead, Chabella Guzman in with a check-in on Ag News. She'll have that right after the break here on KNEB.TV News.
This year, W2 means we double. Reganis Auto Center will double your down payment on any pre-owned vehicle on their lot. Turn $500 into $1,000. Turn $1,500 into $3,000. Use that money to get out of your lease or a vehicle you owe too much on, or to lower your monthly payment. For a limited time only, double your down payment only at Reganis Auto Center on East Overland and East 27th Street in Scotts Bluff, your volume discount dealer.
This chair is way too big. It's perfect for us. This one's tiny. That's 'cause it's mine. Hey, this chair is just right. This bed is way too hard. It's perfect for me. This bed is way too soft. Just what I needed. This bed is just right. So come on over to Leaf Heads.
In boots, new and old, you've walked the rows of life, a fence length of time. You fought the floods, snow, and sweltering heat, and lifted breathing and settled pain. With a smile and a cry, you've strengthened your community and future generations. Sometimes with nothing to say. Often can't say enough. Like, let me do it again.
This is KNEB.TV Ag News from the FNBO Ag Desk. FNBO, the great big small bank.
The wheat stem sawfly has been a problem for hard red winter wheat growers for some time. Nebraska Extension entomologist Jeff Bradshaw this year says the infestation seems to be pretty bad. And while there is no pesticide for the sawfly, there are weed lines to help.
Both public varieties that have been released, as well as some of our commercial partners, have started releasing new varieties that have what are called solid stem or semi-solid stem traits. And what that is normally a lot of our elite wheat lines are hollow like a drinking straw. But these solid stem wheats and semi-solid stem wheats have more pith material inside the stem, making them solid. And what that does, it slows down and in some cases prevents the development of the wheat stem sawfly. We still see some yield drag relative to some of our more elite lines in some of these sawfly resistant wheats. But good news is with that is we are seeing even some lines like Wesley that are showing some promise for reduced infestation of wheat stem sawfly, even though they're not a solid stem wheat.
Bradshaw and the extension team will be doing more research on Wesley.
So we're hoping to work with Kathleen Friels, our new wheat breeder for the University of Nebraska, to kind of parse out that puzzle and figure out why Wesley and maybe some other lines seem to be maybe less preferred or have less sawfly survival in them, while still yielding really competitively in Nebraska.
Bradshaw says they won't know the real damage of the sawfly until growers begin harvesting, which is just getting underway in the Panhandle.
The Verizon family is full of frowns because they're spending too much for their unlimited data and phones, while the Viero family is all smiles because they're getting 4 lines of unlimited data with 2 free Apple iPhone SE for mom and dad and 2 free LG K31 smartphones for the kids, all for just $100 a month. They're saving so much, they're able to get Fido. Find out how you can too at Viero.com or your nearest Viero store. Viero Wireless, keeping you connected.
When it comes to helping local folks with the loans and financial advice they need, we don't horse around. Our only goal is to help you and your family achieve your financial goals with the right loans and savings products. So if you want to bank with people that care about you and your financial needs, stop by or give us a call. First State Bank. We're big on you. Member FDIC. Online at fsbcentral.com.
Well, let's take a look what's happening on today's community calendar. That's a look at today's community calendar, brought to you by First State Bank, honoring those who give back. Nominate your community champion at fsbcentral.com.
Western CPAP Supply has earned an impeccable professional reputation within the Wyoming and Western Nebraska region. Helping you get a good night's sleep is our passion. Our amazing team understands sleep disorders from a personal and professional level. We use CPAPs and BiPAPs too, and sometimes it just helps to work with people who share common ground. Our accredited CPAP supply company is approved by Medicare and Medicaid and is in network with every major insurance company in the region. Western CPAP Supply. We're here to help.
At Platte Valley Investment Center, we believe in personalized planning for your financial goals.
As your retirement income partners, our concern for your success combined with resources from Raymond James can help you make confident decisions for your financial future.
Our team of financial advisors will help you make your money work just as hard as you did to earn it. After all, our goal is to help you reach your financial goals.
Call me, Jody Rosiska, or Kevin Fig, Financial Advisors, to set up your free, no obligation pre-retirement review.
And finally tonight, an annual downtown tradition is ramping up again for 2021. The Downtown Scottsbluff Association is holding their annual sidewalk sales this week. Local retailers are encouraged to bring their merchandise outside the store as they cater to pedestrians along Broadway. Last week, the City Council approved a community festival permit for the event, and Priscilla Sandoz Bailey of Studio B says there should be a strong business showing this year.
On my block, I've gone around to chat with some. There may be 3 on our block. South of me, I'm on 1700 block, so south of me, I know there'll at least be 1 down that direction.
This year's sidewalk sales will take place on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there. We'll see you here next time.